Welcome back to the Irish Accent Podcast. I hope you're all having a great week. This week's podcast is going to be an advanced level podcast, so as always, don't forget to check out the video version on YouTube if you want to practice reading aloud with the audio. You can find the link to the YouTube video in the show notes. Today, we'll be diving into the history, traditions, and modern celebrations of Halloween in Ireland. Halloween has a really rich and fascinating history here, and while it's celebrated in many countries today, Ireland is actually where it all began. Let's start with the origins of Halloween. The word Halloween comes from All Hallows Eve, which is the evening before All Hallows Day, a Christian holiday. However, the celebration itself dates back thousands of years to the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain. Samhain marked the end of the harvest season and the beginning of winter. It was believed that during this time, the boundary between the world of the living and the world of the dead became blurred, allowing spirits to cross over. The Celts believed that the souls of the dead would return to earth on the night of Samhain, and to protect themselves, they lit bonfires and wore costumes to disguise themselves from evil spirits. In modern times, many of these traditions have evolved, but you can still see traces of them in our Halloween celebrations today. One of the biggest parts of Halloween is dressing up in costumes, and this comes directly from the ancient tradition of disguising yourself to confuse wandering spirits. People believed that if the spirits couldn't recognize you, they wouldn't bother you. Today, costumes are more about fun than protection. In Ireland, children and even adults enjoy dressing up as everything from witches and ghosts to pop culture characters and superheroes. Another tradition that comes from the ancient Samhain festival is the lighting of bonfires. These bonfires were meant to keep evil spirits away and were a focal point for communities. People would gather around the fire, tell stories, and celebrate together. While bonfires are still a part of some Halloween celebrations in Ireland, they're more controlled and often part of local events or festivals. There are also many traditional Halloween games that are still played today. One of the most popular is Bobbing for Apples. This game involves trying to grab an apple floating in a basin of water using only your mouth, no hands allowed. It's a simple but fun game that has been around for centuries. I can still clearly remember playing this game with my cousins when I was younger. Whoever won could get a bag of sweets, so we were very competitive. Another traditional game is Snap Apple, where an apple is tied to a string and hung from a door frame or tree branch. The goal is to try and bite the apple without using your hands, and it's harder than it sounds. In Ireland, one of the traditional Halloween foods is a cake called Barmbrack. Barmbrack is a type of fruitcake, but what makes it special for Halloween is that small objects are baked into it, such as a ring, a coin, or a piece of cloth. Each item has a different meaning. For example, if you find the ring in your slice, it's said that you will get married soon, while the coin means wealth is coming your way. I used to love eating my slice of cake when I was young. I always hoped that I would have something hidden in my slice. But you have to be careful when biting, in case you bite into a hard object. Of course, these days, Halloween is also a time for sweets. Although trick-or-treating is a more recent tradition, especially in Ireland, it's become very popular. Children dress up in their costumes and go door to door saying trick or treat and collect sweets and chocolates. This tradition originally started in the United States, but it quickly made its way across the Atlantic, and it's now a highlight of Halloween in Ireland also. I would say Halloween today in Ireland is a mix of old and new traditions. While we still have connections to the ancient Samhain festival, modern influences like trick-or-treating, spooky decorations, and haunted houses have become a big part of the celebration. In many towns and cities, there are Halloween parades, and you can see houses decorated with carved pumpkins, also known as jack-o'-lanterns. The tradition of carving pumpkins actually comes from an Irish myth about a man named Stingy Jack, who tricked the devil and was condemned to roam the earth with only a burning coal inside a carved turnip to light his way. When Irish immigrants brought this tradition to America, they began using pumpkins instead of turnips because they were more readily available. There are many old Irish superstitions connected to Halloween as well. For example, it was believed that if you left food outside on Halloween night, it would please the wandering spirits and they would leave your home in peace. Another superstition is that if you hear footsteps behind you on Halloween night, you shouldn't turn around because it might be a spirit following you. So, as you can see, Halloween in Ireland is more than just a night of dressing up and eating sweets. It's a holiday deeply rooted in ancient Celtic traditions, with a rich history that has influenced how people celebrate all over the world. Whether it's lighting bonfires, bobbing for apples, or carving pumpkins, Halloween is a time for fun and community. I hope you enjoyed learning about the origins and traditions of Halloween in Ireland. Do you celebrate Halloween in your country? And if so, how does it differ from Halloween here? As always, try listening to this episode again and practice repeating any new words or phrases. Thanks so much for listening, and I'll speak to you again next week. Bye bye!